Hello. Okay, I am doing another little mini guide. So, in the Discord, there is a Warcraft logs channel in the guild panel, and it'll have a report like this. So it's gonna say like you can click on anywhere like at the top, like right up here, and that should bring you to the Warcraft log. It'll also have it on Wipefest, and it'll have it on WoWAnalyzer. And if you open either of these up, they are perfectly safe to go to, and I would recommend it actually. You can go into Wipefest, and it'll bring you to like the poll, all the polls that we did during this specific log. Sometimes if I forget and I split it, it'll be on a different one. So just look for the other post. And you can also go up to our guild and select which ones were uploaded. Anyway, if I go here and I look at like our Sarkarath kill from Tuesday, you can go in and see like who died to what. You can see 22 potions were used, combat potions. And like you can also see it in the timeline, which I'll get to in a sec. I can see who died to what, who healed from pots, which I think is super useful. Because if people aren't using pots and they're dying, that's on them. Let's go to the timeline. I usually hide all, and then I go down into like, okay, when are people using their pots? I can see all the people that use them at the start, at a couple seconds in. No one used them in stage 2, and then stage 3, people use them again. You can go to like, see people using their defensives, which you can also see in Warcraft logs. It's harder to track the pots. So it's, I don't know why they removed that from Warcraft logs, but you can still use like a query to see when people died. And you can do like a breakdown and see how much of it hit and what ability I died to. And if you go over and you click on WoWAnalyzer, you can go into like, it should bring you to this. You can also go to the guild page, which is fine. So I'm gonna go into our kill, and this has like all of our people that were there. I'm gonna click on myself, and this shows like I had a decent uptime with my spells. Depending on which class is being updated, it might be interrupted, or it might be inaccurate, but I interrupted myself a lot because we had to move a lot. It says I lost channel time on certain abilities, like my Void Torrent. And that's also from having to move. It looks like I did pretty decent on my CDs. Like I have 100%. That's huge. Some specs are a little bit out of date, and like I'm using a lower grade enchant, but it has higher stats, so this isn't accurate for me. And then it'll say like, did I use pots? I used 2 during the fight, which is perfect. And I know I died at one point, and I think I had to be rezzed, so I used my pot late. And we had the food buff, that's good. We had a file, that's good. But you can go in and look at yourself. You can look at like your timeline for your casts and see like, this is a lot simpler to look at than Warcraft logs in my opinion. But I like to use both. See what I died to. Holy shit. That's big. Because I got knocked back. And like when I use my CDs. Overall, I think it's pretty important to look at your own performance and look at our Warcraft logs, like rankings. Like, this isn't the end-all be-all, right? You're gonna see people with crazy parses who are really good at their class. Some people choose mechanics, they greed mechanics, and they get away with it. Maybe you're doing something wrong. I think WoWAnalyzer is great for that, for most classes, because you can be like, okay, what am I fucking up here? Like, if I go back to my Vault of the Incarnates for my Evoker, my logs are probably terrible when we first started because I wasn't doing something properly in my rotation. But make sure you're looking over these things. Like, it's important to make sure that you don't die, first and foremost. Like, do this. I would prefer you lose some uptime on your damage to live. But also, you want to make sure that you're doing your rotation right, your spell priority right. Use your procs when you need to. If you need to, get a Wikara, that'll help you. Use Hakili. Reach out to someone if you think you're maybe not doing as good as you could be. We will help you. We don't want to have to sit someone for, like, bad performance. Like, people lag out, people... I don't know, sometimes they just don't want to hear that they're doing something wrong. And that's not really being a team player. Regardless, we have a lot of people. We're gonna look at sitting people. Sorry, just had my coffee. But we don't want anyone to feel like they're struggling. But it's important that we have the damage to take down these bosses in Mythic. So let us know if you need some help.